Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings,
And ourselves.
we stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds, let in the love,
and listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find this shining world. Heals among us in every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black. Love will melt the ice and turn it back, and you will find the world. You will find the world. You will find the world. And when you find a place called home, where everyone is free to roam, a whole new world, a better place for our children's futures at stake. And you'll find, with music in your soul, laughter in your hearts, together we can grow a better place, with love in our soul. And you will find, together we can save it all. And you will find a place called home, where everyone is free
Rawr. Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings.
And ourselves.
We stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds, let in the love,
And listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find in this shining world. He was among us in every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black. Love will melt the ice and turn it back, and you will find the world. You will find the world. You will find the world. And when you find a place called home, where everyone is free to roam, a whole new world, a better place for our children's futures at stake. And you'll find, with music in your soul, laughter in your hearts, together we can grow a better place, with love in our soul. And you will find, together we can save it all. And you will find a place called home, where
what, everyone? Rawr. Yes, that's right. And tonight, guess what we're presenting to you? You're not going to want to miss it because this is an exclusive album release just for you guys. Yes, if you haven't heard of Claymation yet, AeromosDax is here. Yeah, let's give it up for AeromosDax and this Claymation album, where he's spotlighted 7 of these tracks. You have to check out the rest of the album because you're going to absolutely love it. Oh, Arvos!
Greetings. Good evening, everyone.
So awesome to have you here this evening talking about this Claymation album and everything you've been doing and putting this all together.
Yeah.
For anyone that's out there watching and if they're not familiar with you, would you like to go ahead and tell everyone about yourself?
I'm AeromosDax. I'm an abstract hip-hop artist from Southwest Georgia. I've compiled a bit of an opus here, 17 tracks, hour long. Everything you need to know about it is on the 10, and we're going to go below the 10 today and hopefully find something substantial.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I know we're going to find lots of stuff substantial. You really go ahead and you take pride in your lyric writing and your poetry writing. I have to ask, what kind of education do you have behind that?
Oh, Lord. I'm going to go a little left field and we'll get back to it. So, I've made it no secret that I have a little bit of animosity with people that make music for a vibe. And a lot of that comes to the fact that I do what I do with mostly a high school education. Up until the tail end of the writing process, which I don't think it includes any of the songs that actually made the record. I had my high school education from a public school, from a school that's probably closer to average than anything, and 1.5 semesters of college, and anything after that is only another semester where I took 2 classes. So it's not like we're working with someone with a doctorate over here. So we're working with almost the bare minimum.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
And I know once you guys go ahead and you guys listen to this, you're going to be impressed too. Yes, you can find Aramos out there on pretty much every platform: BandLab, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, yeah. Tonight's playlist that we are going to be playing from Claymation is actually from the YouTube, but it is also on BandLab, Spotify, Apple. It's out there. Make sure you guys go ahead and share, subscribe to it today. Aramos, let me ask, because I know you're saying you've had the bare minimum of education, were there certain writers that stuck out to you that inspired you to write the way that you do, or that inspired you to read certain literature?
Funny thing is I'm not much of a reader. I break all the rules of convention. I do not read. The people that inspired, which is weird because they had this thing where they measure an ELO score based on how proficient of a reader you are. And mine went the highest. It was always at a collegiate level, which that just comes down to me. Most of the reading was done from the rap music I was into, which included a lot of Aesop Rock, a lot of Doom, Pheromont. Not so much Billy Woods at the time, but later on, Billy Woods, Elucid, Rap Ferrera, Fulminos, Milo, also Scallops Hotel, Semantics, et cetera, et cetera.
Woo! Well, that was a list, and you had them all rattled off like they were by memory. They was just yesterday.
Well, it is just yesterday because it's not like I listened to him, to brag about oh, I listen to these very obscure artists. Like, no, this is what I enjoy. So I listen to some combination of these people on a daily basis.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. All right. So which one of them inspired this claymation, or was it something that happened in real life? Because this album is based on the fingerprints.
Claymation began its life not as an album, but as a collection of songs stemming back from the middle of last year when I realized I was going back to college and when. So I needed to stockpile stuff because I don't plan on abandoning music. There will be signs that, but I didn't plan on abandoning it, but I couldn't work on it full time if the schoolwork was going to be successful. So I needed to make a stockpile to keep people fed and to have something to show new prospects that I thought would maybe come around. We might get into how that might not have been the case, but as I began writing and putting stuff to the side and keeping track of things, I'm like, a lot of this goes well together. So then I started about ways of packaging it. Like, well, we're going to put them together as like A sides and B sides, and it'll be an episodic series with maybe one song will actually be part of the ordeal. And here's a song that I wrote that doesn't really fit, but one of my weaknesses as an author is sometimes I do not leave my own text, even if it is third person. So maybe someone will find a way to shoehorn it in there, but there'd be like instrumental pieces, and it would have been fun. Except I wasn't satisfied with that. So I continued to work, organize, reorganize, and it eventually been like, all right. And then me and VR decided we were going to make an album at the tail end of last year. So it was like, well, never mind all of that. Can't really do that now, or we're going to be into like December. No, we'll be in like the middle of next year. I don't think I should do that, because then we're just going to continue to have a stockpiling. And I want at some point to get to a point where, we can catch up to the present tense of who Aramis is and what he's been doing music-wise. Because at this point, like, there's about a year and a half's worth of dissonance between the text and the author. And maybe I don't feel certain ways about it that I do now.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm sure as we go ahead and we go through these pieces, there are ways that, that we can talk about that maybe you felt about it when you were writing it originally, and maybe it's different now that, because you had some collaborators as well on this.
It's weird. This is the album with the most collaborators, and this feels like the most Aramis-focused project.
That is funny. You have some amazing artists that are on this album with you. So, you guys, yes. And it is absolutely the most Aramos album, because a lot of these are all written by you. You've produced many of these yourself as well.
I have production credits on 10 of the 17 tracks.
Yes. And these music videos that we're going to watch as well, because you have got a couple of them that have some animation in them.
Well, it should only be one song from the playlist that has animation in it.
One from the playlist, but then you also have others on your YouTube. So I know when people go check that out, they're going to see that one as well.
Yeah. Which part of the plans for the future is to get more video content together. But we'll get to it the further we go along, the hang-ups of the video.
Yes. That can always be fun. So tell me about this piece, Dial In.
All right. This is one of the songs that's had a weird history. Because it began with me putting these the original beat was this hideous 80s hip hop beat with like abstract hip hop sensibilities, which I thought was really cool when I made it. Then I tried to rap on it and I realized, no, this is not really cool. This is terrible. The drums were too fast, they were too blocky, and you really couldn't stretch it out because then you start messing with how the drums sound because BandLab's drums are thin. And I'm trying to stretch things out. I'm trying to maybe get it to sound good. I sent it to 2 collaborators initially. One, Hid Mosaic, he was the original guest plan. I sent it to Mr. Pancake Man, and it took like 6 months. I kind of wish I hung on to it a bit longer if I knew this was going to take longer, because he probably would have hopped on this beat. He's like, man, listen, I can't rap on this. I'm like, I ain't gonna hold it against you. I mean, after all, I didn't pay you anything.
Yeah.
But Hidden Mosaic was like, yeah, count me in. And after a couple of rewrites that I didn't force him to rewrite anything, this was stuff that he thought he could do better.
Okay.
Honestly, I wasn't as big of a fan of this recording as the faster one, but this one has the better recording quality, so I had no choice but to keep it.
You had no choice but to keep it, but at the same time, it was one of those hidden gems that you have in here that, you know, it just kind of kept getting tossed to this side, then tossed to that side, and then saying, we're going to smash it together and we're going to figure this out.
This beat came together. So the Semantics Discord, when it was relatively active, Tierce was one of the rappers in it was trying to get into production, and he put 2 beats. One is everyone's first beat. It was kind of bad, and it sounds the way you think it sounds. The second one had it was one synth layer and drums. And I'm like, this is half baked. I can do something with it. So I stole it. And I got to work. And I put the vocal layer. I put put the bass on it. Put another synth, I think. Put saxes. I saxed on this album. And I went back to the Semantics Discord. I'm like, hey, look what I done. And they're like, hey, this is pretty good. And I went to Tierce directly, like, hey, can I use this? He's like, you gonna credit me? I'm like, yes. And like, okay, then you can use it. So that's how the beat came along.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
As far as my writing goes, Hidden Mosaic has a C theme going through his verse. And through mine, this was one of 2 instances where my mind was on. Around the time I was writing this, they were beginning to put solar farms on the fields around where I live. And the budding photographer in me did not like that because they brought up the fencing and the paneling. It ruins the view over the hills. And while there's still ample places to take pictures of, it was like it devastated me. I didn't like this change, this monochrome change.
Shit, there's sunflowers or corn out there.
Oh.
That would have dialed them in, right? Yeah. Especially if a cornfield out of nowhere just started growing near the solar,
this is not really a place. Well, this is not really a big area for corn.
Okay, sunflowers.
Probably, but probably could have done that. But I don't know.
Well, you guys got next season, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it got me thinking about the area of which I lived. So that's what informed the writing. I'm going to warn you. I do this every time. I have to make the warning because this is the problem with the year and a half dissonance is for the life of me, I can't remember the specifics. I have to sit down with it. And I don't have the time to sit down with it to put everything back together. And so
well, then I guess it's time for us to dial it in.
Yes, it is.
Let's go ahead. Let's listen to Dial It In. Dial in, everyone. Yes, dial in. This is AeromosDax.
Favor and critical acclaim, popped the really over talks and capital gains. Now I wonder if the consequences of no-handed tricks to fall on my face and graze till the shiver breaks my leg. Silence a tiny violinist for lowering my sense of security. Some see the sentence and question it like it's a light atop of Cypress Hill. An event raises suspicion of a sign here, or a fest where the fire's concealed. Most are not lulled, but the lullabies are killed deer. Road burns with limbs. Wonder how many today would be considered innocent men. It's all ignore calls and Morse code from the woodpecker feeding off imperfections, picking through bugs in the system. On the couch curled up, sleeping off the venom, comfort in defensive positions. This is my serpentine. As sure as the sun shines, I'm dialed in. Fall from the product of time, simply slipping through the cracks. As sure as the sun shines, I'm dialed in.
The cold water dowsing, browsing from the city drowsing. I keep my seas cooler not for browsing, to keep my ocean from browning. Any washed up visitors are drowning. Orange and white, I see them clowning. They swim puddles of mud, who they clowning. Down in whole buckets of crud, who they clowning. The flying fish will reach his grounding. A wide open mouth for when they flounder, yo. The whales untouchable when they rise. Everyone waiting for their demise. The whole seafloor is a prize. That's the truth, use your eyes. I'm dialed in.
As sure as the sun shines, I'm dialed in. Fall from the project time, slowly slipping through the cracks. As sure as the sun shines, I'm dialed in. Nor am I sticking to the glass, I pack adhesive for my plans. As sure as the sun shines, I'm dialed in. Fall from the project time, simply slipping through the cracks. I got sympathy from an enemy yet. My sword still swings, the blood pools. Using residue as alchemy, on side of a point to prove. At least your fertilizers after me. A bouquet of flowers for one true king. My heart has one too many frostbitten arteries. My vibe seems chill, but my cool's in too deep. Yoke over my shoulders is only the circumference of your pinky. The punishment for my troubles is all OD on hyperbole, but it's all too real and every day it's surging. It's insurgent, it's a curse, it's worth purging. Burn it if you can't get to the surgeon. It's bumper stickers and rainbows. A new coat of paint on using the hills above as a scapegoat. When I fall short on any of my main goals, don't hand me the torch, I'll simply let the flame go.
Wow, let that flame go. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny because I know you were just explaining how it was just like, like claymation, right? Like just taking blocks of sand and building them together. And that was really cool, being that was his second piece, right? That he ever made beat wise.
That was the second beat he made, which, to be fair, he only had he did like one synth layer and like some of the drums.
Okay. And you added that sexy sax.
Yeah. The sax, the vocal loop, that is what I put. And everything else is what I put out.
Do you play any other instruments? Like,
I mean,
it's hard to kind of see the if you've got a guitar there on the wall to the right of you, but
I'm looking at my cajon, which y'all would know it if it was in the mix. Y'all would know it. I do not like. I would incorporate it, but I do not have the mic work to incorporate such an instrument.
well, man, I guess that's gonna have to come next year after school, huh? Lots good stuff. Lots good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So tell me about Pawns Against Pawns, because this is all you, written and performed by you yourself.
Yes. Pawns Against Pawns is me attempting to take two completely different perspectives based on what it's not based on a specific relationship, but it is based on like, oh, here's this younger fella entering well, on the album, it's him entering in the world proper. Let me try to explain this. So the first couple songs is this guy coming in from his regular environment into a new environment. And here he's starting to get ingratiated with the people of this environment. And this is probably the most direct example, because this is him having a one-on-one, not really discussion, but it's two monologues from that interaction. That explains why there's the shifted vocals on the second verse. And to further solidify this, there's also a different way. There's a difference in how the rhymes are structured. First verse is a tad bit more uniform. The second verse is a bit more loose with it. This is a personal favorite demo from the people I showed. No one really objected to it. Everyone said it was good.
Everyone said it was good, or that it was like really awesome, because that's what you are.
It's hard to gauge. It's hard to gauge.
Okay.
I do have general distrust with the close people, because it's like, I do have to work with him tomorrow. I don't want to tell, and I can tell he's a bit passionate about this. So I might not want to tell him it's bad.
I don't know.
I have a general distrust.
Okay.
To the people in close proximity.
Okay. I can understand that. And at the same time, we're like our worst critics. So we always are like looking at people and saying, like, I know, like, I've worked my butt off on this, and I know this is like to the point that I actually went out and published it, you know? So, like, I guess that's what it's all about, putting that pawn, right? That pawns against pawns.
Pawns against pawns.
I like that.
The title in itself is a representation of, well, it foreshadows that these are just the people, the little people in the equation. The original title was Pawns Against Pawns Under the Weight of Bishops. The title was too long and too clumsy, especially for something that's not in the song itself. I just chopped off the Pawns Against Pawns because I assumed people would get the idea.
Right. Well, they're going to get it now. Here we go. Pawns Against Pawns. Yeah. AeromosDax. Make sure you guys go ahead, like, share, subscribe.
paranoid down to 244 steps in your drawers. Need a pair of boys to wrap the brisket in the fall. Life was a movie, till the plot had to move forward. Thought you was a dark horse, till you spotted the trust fund baby in the black Porsche. You beat tongues and blood flooded the vestibule. First person's the best view. 30 steak knives, serenading that hour lunch, tea punching at 9 to 5. Flipping cheese for wine, the drinking shame. Things only escalated this high till you wasted, till you middle aged and a veteran of where you stationed. It's always the new generation who can't play right, cause they play right. Didn't award you a Tony and a fear AIDS for life. Flying a freak flag is a show of pride that's mostly spite. News bulletin says a mutiny is due to rise. Either overseas or mass shootings every other night. Lootings, carjackings, armed robberies, just the facts of life. If you bring it back to my opening line, you see the answer as to why. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yo, to stay safe, to save face, keep a tool at your waist, or there'll be extra baggage in the waist. You sane with question if you sane, if you think you can book it past the bullet in the face. Cards being pulled, who's to say I'm up for today other than the creator? He's the one in position of pawns and vision for distributed limbs to stick up. Down this liquor or liquor courage, so this wrist stiffen and my nerves subside. I don't want to subtract one life. It's a crying shame I have to pack for gunfights. But listen, these cannons on my hip isn't an invitation or a simple saying I'm ready or even willing to get gully. I never led you, you won't pull me. And to be honest, I don't understand your perspective fully. I can care less if my image is sullied. There's a due date coming. Every day feels close to doomsday, brother. From squares to gang members, everyone got a screw face bugging. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Pawns against pawns. Make sure you go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, that was like a very sultry jazz. I can totally see that being at like a little coffee shop or even like in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very smooth.
Thank you.
Now, the mutated claymated.
Yes. All right, so this originally was supposed to be sort of like the centerpiece of the album, if you will. Okay. And in a way, it kind of is. But in my originally I had it in mind, in a sense, that, oh, this is going to be more story, more character-driven than it really was. Okay. When I finally got something that I would consider the complete record together, I'm like, it's not as character-driven as I thought it was originally. So it makes the idea of the character, coming into the world and realizing that the people are just, feeding off each other in a way. Oh, like to go in, like,
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because a part of the record it views the dog eat dog nature of just being part of the working class in what some would call late stage capitalism. It's a story based on that. Now, I did make the conscious decision to not have anything based directly off labor, because then people will say, "Oh, you just don't want to go to work." Like, no, I wrote this in the middle of a dead end job. I was working a dead end job trying to put something together. I have no qualms with work. I have problems with not being compensated in a way that I can live. Like,
I totally get that.
yeah.
Especially when you can make $18 an hour now flipping a burger.
Oh, when are you making that?
I think I seen that like over in California, like they're making almost $18 an hour working at McDonald's. It's insane, right? We gotta go to Cali, Aramos. We're just in the wrong field.
California. I mean, technically, yes. Technically, yes. The soil here is not rich enough. But, yeah.
And
you know, we weren't even making. I wasn't even making that. That'd have been like a good month. Making $18 an hour.
Right?
I was working rent to own at a rent to own furniture store.
Okay.
Which for on average like $15-16 an hour. Carrying couches, telling broke people, hey, I know that you're broke. Kinda don't care. You signed a contract.
I ain't breaking the couch. His legs are gonna be yours. Pay up.
Oh.
This is the claymation mutation. The mutated claymated.
Mutated claymated. Which this is a song that went through ample transformations, mostly through the beat.
Okay.
I had a more industrial, more rock inspired instrumental at first. And I kind of expanded on it, but I wasn't never really happy with how the mix came together. So I scrapped it. Especially when I got started on like the first half of the instrumental in the middle of the night one night. And then I decided, you know what would be fun? If we just doing an ambient piece at the end. That'll be fun, right?
Right, we won't wake the neighbors, get in trouble at 3 a.m.
Well, there aren't really any neighbors to wake up out here.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're all going to Aromos's for an album release party.
Oh.
We're gonna all be mutated claymations. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this whole story, and you know how it has taken such a turn because it took so long to put together. And all the different collaborators that you've added on that actually changed the pieces from originally thought out processes.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. We're gonna listen to the mutated, claymated. This is all AeromosDax written and produced. Here we go. Like, share, subscribe, everyone. Find it today.
Sunbeams and meat falls off the bone. As long as I eat, then it's to each his own. Watch the flesh drip off the skeleton. Burnt at the stake, trying to utilize the elements. Burnt by the light, trying to magnify the sickness. The mutated clay made it, marching into oblivion. Marching into oblivion. My character is nothing less than a triple-digit stealth stat in a silhouette. A chiseled vet of fleeting sigils with her visual necks. From my pinpoint, rigor mortis spreads. Mumbling under his breath, a monologue to like the hex. Fitted with the bag of tricks, filled to the brim with ammunition to spit and picks of venison. After I grind through the grimace, the menu is all-day breakfast with a week's worth of mix and match. Anything fixed up for the price at hand. The die is cast strictly for your expense. Take a minute to digest. The flavor of the month is not for the weakest stomach. No matter how aggressively it festers with hunger, your Jekyll and Hyde will forever fall short of Fort Sumter. Sunbeams claims the meat falls off the bone. As long as I eat, then it's to each his own. Watch the flesh drip off the skeleton. Burnt at the stake trying to utilize the elements. Burnt by the light trying to magnify the sickness. The mutated Claymated march into oblivion. March into oblivion. Attack unarmed citizens. Feed into the system. Hurt people, hurt people. Was anything a better cure when the concerns are only preferred evils? Earth, wind, and fire, we search and desires any. Thirst is trenched in the mind, developed from dust. Surely my body and work is due to be ruins of rust. Caught in the web of cycles, cyclical of every day in the ciphers. A cog in the chain gang of Excelsior flight. The sapient small steppers are fade links and charges little helpers. Unimpressed with this life, but still would have bet on himself to survive. Even if there was no command for the light, condemned by his ancestry for his alignments. Allies keep him tucked in the peripheral, fearing what bacteria that could spread. Every lead stemming from the petri dish he fled.
Crush, kill, destroy, stress rap on the symptoms, organize and deploy.
Staring into the dead eyes of pupils on the carton of 2%. Nostalgic, gone with the wind. Pay-per-view holding a ticket for an instant not meant for the living.
Living down with a sword, however that applies. As long as iron sharpens iron, I got allies bonded in the alloy.
Empathetic, you're not the only one who missed out.
Missed out.
From the function, you're not the only one who dipped out.
Dipped out.
Far from the first to get singled out.
Singled out. The orchard is fruitful, as long as the pupil remains truthful.
Far from the first to get singled out for being fresh meat. Lick lips, starve by anticipation. Let's eat.
Lick lips, starve by anticipation. Let's eat. Anything introduced with the beholds to be enjoyed. What's up the loot isn't supposed to leave you loopy unless defense mechanisms are employed.
Dinner in a show. Safer as you see the pigs bleed. Head on a platter, feast like kings. Apple pie filled with the apple of your eye. Oh, he was so sweet. Understated by grandma's prophecies. This lamb chop you can't simply dolly.
A god there must be.
Man, that was a really strong message. I like the effects that you used in there.
I liked them at first, but I recorded and did that before I did the record with V-Rap. And that was before I did. And I found a better way of doing the pitch down vocals in a way that just sound better, sound more full. I don't know why I didn't do it here. I mean, maybe because by the time I got the idea to do it, I was just like, no, that'll be fine. It'll be fine the way it is. can I get this done instead? Like, am I sure? I'm like, no, you need to get this done because we need to get this out. Says who? You. That's who says it needs to get this out. Like, okay.
Well, I'm sure like it took you a while to actually put this together and produce it and things. And I'm sure like when you're at school, you're going to be listening to it as well. Reflecting because this album just released. So I'm sure you're going to look back at some of them and you might redo some of them in the future. I know I've got some that I've done that I kind of say, you know what, maybe I'll go back to it, maybe I won't.
There are many things in my back catalog that will be remastered before anything on here. Oh, it almost didn't make the record. I had this one song with how do I pronounce his name? It's I don't remember how to pronounce the name, but he was doing the hook, and I'm like, you know what this record needs? It needs a song that has a bit of a bluesy, bit of a country vibe to it, but not too strong. We don't want not too strong. We need some natural sounding guitars. And I'm like, you know what? Dax, you're a genius for that one. Let's see what we can do. So I sit down, I produce the beat. I don't listen to it with earphones, with headphones or anything. I just leave it as it is. So I get the verses together. It's a song about labor and how people get too lost in their labor and metaphorically lose their entire life to it. And I had this one guy doing the hook, and I sit down with it, and it sounds like garbage. I'm like, all right, fine, we'll fix it in mixing, because I think the problem is the mix. I tried it with the speaker, I tried it in earbuds, I tried it in headphones, I tried it in cars, with nothing salvaging it.
Was it the effects or like, because I know you said it was in the
what
mix.
It was is I had like, there was like a month where I dug up this P filter with one of my actual microphone, and I tried to record through that. And maybe this is just a me issue and where I record, but BandLab does not like it when I use real microphones. So I stopped trying to use the mic and I just set the P filter up in front of the phone, how I usually record. No, everything then came out muffled. So it's like, well, now I gotta re-record everything again. So I think that was the issue. That was something I recorded through the P filter that I never bothered to fix properly. Which then my guest decided to, no, I'm going to delete my hook. And since he's not a very good communicator, I mean, hasn't said anything. And at that point in time, I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to work with him. I got to find someone else. And I'm probably just going to redo the track again. And it'll come out when it comes out. Which opened up the opportunity because I promised so many tracks beforehand. I want to be consistent. This is before I realized, hey, when you first talked about this album coming out, you do realize like half those people left the app, right? I'm like, let me work.
Like the collaborators left the app? Like people you were working with?
Now the collaborators I was working with, not the collaborators I was working with.
Okay.
But just like general supporters.
Okay.
Like that's the thing. The support, the underbed of support that I had just kind of up and left. And I didn't realize that until I started trying to roll out the record. I thought it Like there was an initial dip when I was releasing the stuff with VRAP, and I thought, well, I haven't released in a while, and VRAP doesn't quite have the traction that Sinji and Jeremy have, and it's a
V-Rap's
sleeper.
incredible. DJ
VRAP
V-Rap,
is
he's incredible. He'll work
VRAP is
around you
great.
as well.
VRAP is great, but he just doesn't have the groundswell that either Sinji or Jeremy had. And I'm thinking, okay, that's why it's taking a while. That's why. And then I started releasing stuff for this record, and I ain't seen numbers this bad since like 2019, early 2020. And that's when I realized, okay, we got probably, I can't have this here because this just looks bad. It's a bad look. So I can't release anything directly here anymore. So I privated the tracks and everything. And since we're always talking about it, I might as well get into it. Then, once the album came out, I released it here just for the sake of continuity. Because on some level, I'm still active on the app. I mean, I want to use it as a bit of a hotbed to find new collaborators. It's a nice central area to organize everything to an extent. It's just there was never really a whole lot of organic support, but there was some. And if you just put your nose to the grindstone and maybe knew a couple hashtags, you could put something together. With enough momentum, something will happen. And then they started putting in stuff like, oh, hey, if you pay for this, you can get these things. And then it just kind of expanded from there. But for this record, I'm like, you know what? You gotta get with the times. You got a little money in the bank. Let's look into this a little bit. I'm like, what's the cheapest I can do to boost this? Like, I can do $1. You can do about $5. Spend $35. $5. Okay. And I got the reviews back, and I wasn't happy with it. I was not happy with it because it says people looked at stuff and people. Now, my first mistake was boosting a post with the record because you can't boost the engagement with the record.
Okay.
So but it was like, oh, you got like 250 taps, 21 likes, comment, and you got 15 followers out of the ordeal. You want to guess how many plays I got? 0.
Well, what?
0.
No way.
Screenshotted it. Like the post got over almost 7,000 views allegedly.
Yeah, I know. I've tried to boost
plays.
already too, and there was nothing.
I'm like,
yeah.
What's the point of having a boost feature if it doesn't incentivize actual interaction with the music?
Or at least listeners.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I
don't need people to like I want people to like the record. It looks better if people like the record.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'd rather have you listen to it and not click the like button than click the like button and not listen to it.
Right. Absolutely. Be real.
When you actually listen to the record, on some level, it shows the CEOs that, no, we're not making content or making something here. We're putting ourselves into it.
That's right.
But, ridiculous. So, it's getting ridiculous out here.
And that's when you started going out there and you started lusting over a shooting star, right?
No, I wasn't lusting over a shooting star. We were pulling the curtain back. We're back into our first person told, third person narrative.
Okay. Oh no, that's another song on your album. What lusting over a shooting star leads to.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know. We're getting on track. We're getting on track.
Yes.
All right, so lusting after a shooting star is like with the record, it is a first-person told, third-person narrative.
Okay.
Two different perspectives. Well, technically, two different perspectives. It's one. Well, actually, I want to retract that statement. It is a third-person story that uses first-person pronouns, but it's not a first-person told story when you get down into the meat and the gristle and everything. It's more or less a narration.
Okay.
Of an event, and it's a plainly told narrative. The only thing I feel like that should get people crossed up is when we switch perspectives. But basically, it is the most extreme version of escapism of this predicament, of this livelihood that our main character is in, where.
And you're not the main character, right?
I'm not the main character. The switch up for
Which
this
is funny because most of these you're the main character.
What it is the record as a whole is told in first person, but like these aren't really first person narratives in the sense of I in them. So
it's first person and third person's eyes.
Exactly. What it is, the big change is instead of me taking account of how I feel during a specific event within my life, instead of talking about my feelings, I worded this. I had it well worded. Don't know if I ever wrote it down, or I probably did write it down. I just don't have it saved anywhere. It's a flip on perspectives and feelings towards that perspective.
Okay.
But yeah, let's get into the song, and then I'll probably explain it a bit more if we're lost what happened.
Aramos, I know, like in the beginning, we were talking about videos and how you're going to be making more videos in the future. I would love to be reading your lyrics. Just saying. Lyric videos would be awesome for you because you do put a lot of thought.
They cost money, and as much as when it comes to lyrics, at least from my own, I mean, if you wanted them, you could just ask me for it because I can send you the lyric sheets.
Oh, so awesome!
And that goes for anyone. If anyone wants to know the lyrics, I can get you my own. I can't guarantee that I can get you access to any of my guests. And this goes back from when I was working with, little Shetty, also, who now goes by Prickhead the Dick. Like, I tried to ask him for his lyrics because I was big on trying to put stuff on Genius, people to see. But he's like, no, like, someone told me it's not a good idea for me to send other rappers my lyrics. I'm like, I'm not going to fight you on it. And I just decided, that that's probably best going forward. So.
Well, let's going lusting over a shooting star, and I'd love to see those lyrics. So, guys, stay tuned for more Aramos. Here it comes. What lusting over a shooting star leads to. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and check out this Claymation album.
Caught in a daze, dizzy in the 8-bit, bad case of avid, with the doctors know the wavelengths from the basics. The heart's as heavy as a bass heads, trying to run the beat, decapitated, no focus on forward progress. Ran for the blade till my frame was sawdust till I'm carbonated on my waking. You can hold off, trash the so long with modern medicine. I'm the evidence, my inalienable rights have been invaded. The definition of been invaded, burnt at both ends, but soap and never family affair. A gang affiliated, my patience has been poked and prod, trial by barbed wire, with the particles of skin as consequence of reaching for something higher. Thinking how much longer till my end goal expires. So it's rubber to the road, even on ball tires, with Jesus at the wheel inquiring if we can hold for X many miles. Cause forget pennies, nickels, and dimes. Ask the teller, nothing amounts to time. Even if we take the heart away with the road forks. No matter how prestigious the Rolls Royce, you better eat the rich, cause they guys like shrimp and a poke boy. They break bread and put us in a squeeze, readying the vessel for the jaws of the beast. Lollygaggers up in a gag of the geese, but believe they're dragons in the keep. But worse yet, protagonists with daggers in the teeth. But he's less of a street general, more political pundit. Got stripes sewn by a long arm of a governing body. Fast and loose with militant operations. He can squeeze blood from pennies and recession. Collapsing barracks with a leg up on the barren nest, with a deaf ears and gasping breaths and blind eye away from the wrong side of the junction. One track mind, I'ma finish it where it starts. Blast stories like the marks, just as long as we can shoulder and cold with the beef a la carte. Ambush predator in the dead of night, no flight response, nor juke move for the fight. Just push through, jokes fuse and survive. A fist in the stab wound, scabbing around the wrist and shirt sleeve. It's either a Z-walk for season's romp or a healing factor miraculous. How the colors flood after coming back from the brain bleach, blacking out fingertips from dapping St. Peter or something. I believe they were campaigning at the gates of Gehenna, but where was I navigating when God marked the boundaries and called for the seas to say surface where we just play seed and say my entire bloodline wasn't even a figment of imagination. But here am I trying to say when and where and how.
AeromosDax, everyone. This is Claymation. Holy cow. Man. Whew.
Yeah.
I'm speechless on that one.
It's funny when I released this on YouTube. This is the one that did really well, which surprised me because it's like 3 minutes straight of rapping. And what the one person commented is like, you know, I'm honored to be the first one to like this. I'm like, well, you should. It's not a very common occurrence to be the first person to like something. They did not respond.
Oh, man.
So, the one issue I have with doing a video on this song in particular is twofold. Well, actually, it's onefold and it kind of expands.
Okay.
So, the song is about our main character walking up and stabbing at a government official to death.
Okay.
And most of the build-up is sort of most of the build-up, like even in with the other songs, is a build-up point to this very extreme act that probably will not go anywhere in the long run. But in theory, if you can take out the people in charge, you yourself can state what you think is right. Unfortunately, you don't live in a system that works like that anymore. In fact, most, like, aside from like the Aztecs and the Incas, like, and some early monarchs, that's not how it works most of the time in general. That's how the Spanish were able to do it so easily despite being so outnumbered. People that were already under the rule of the kings of both under the ranks of either or did not like the leadership, so they're able to waltz in, stage a bit of a mutiny, the head off the one person in charge, and that's how they took over. And then they started melting down all these really interesting pieces of metallurgy into gold bars and shipping them back off to the queen. A tale is not as old as time, not as old as time. It's a relatively recent tale, but a tale nonetheless. I don't think I can really do that and put that in a video. Mostly because it would just lead to more backlash than it's worth. Then I feel like people understand what's going on well enough.
It is funny because we are no longer we the people. Like you were saying, you look at the wars that are happening and things like that that are going on, and you have children blaming other children in other countries just because they're from a certain country, and it's like, wait a minute, it's the government that is causing that. That kid's probably doing the same thing you are.
Which my biggest concern is more specific events. We had 2 assassination attempts on a presidential candidate this year. I don't think a video about even if it was an ambiguous official, which this one clearly is, it's an unnamed official from an unnamed government. The problem is it's all still there enough, and it just so happens I'm from a more right-leaning area of Georgia, and it might not go over well. Because some of the
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Quick draw McGraw.
Well, no, it's a knife. There's no quick drawing, which is funny because we go straight into the gunplay in the next song. Oh,
how that happens, right?
Yep.
Which the next song is Rush Down.
Rush Down.
Yes. You ready to check that one out?
We can check that out now.
I am. All right, let's do it. Rush Down. Oh. Yeah.
Skull crushing finale, soul snatching banalities, end results finality, fatality. God didn't have to commission a penny for the mark of the beast, the mark of the option, just to could impoverish, but I digress. I'm a cold yellow thread, ready and up in the immediate. You should have left the entry level position at the grilling post. All my shots switch like Listerine, trigger squeeze from the rubber grip, puncture skin like what a punny dip and other gutter quips. Product of a boot to the throat, brute force Dakota. Reagan told us we're all thumbs, meaning I was spawn the hammer of the pistol. Scar for the thought of spilling blood on the tracks. I'd rather my display sprayed on a contract with nuptial. What's freedom of press with every prep's industrial? Looking up at the guns, flashbacks to Columbus. Void of paranoia, panoramas as it was. A void of here's where your darts punched. Sadly, it can't all be B-boy years of stitching yourself in to get tight. My presence is no difference in strep throat and a foxhole of a lymph node closing your windpipe. I'm the anchor of the ship, personified resistance since Earth's trenches, buried in the shifting sand, keep in position. My reflection, the picture of consistency. Any rust on my complexion is evidence of resting 20,000 leagues. While most intellectuals get lost in the scheme, the dropouts never learn to swim and drown in the stream. Those who sleep can't push the alarm through the city of the dream. They're the medalists whose message is I'm lost at sea, cut from the drawstring I'm summoned with. Thinking my crew is nothing but bottom feeders slumming it. The time to pray for a well carcass and the strength to stomach the grub. We don't trip over our faith when we deliver tools, harpoons to hunt for such. Banded together, bowl for soup. Thesaurus loose is ejected typhoid in the stew. Yo.
Oh, heck yeah. That's AeromosDax. And you had a collaborator on that as
Yes.
well at Alien Infamous.
AT Alien Infamous is it's much less a collab in a sense than a business deal. Because it's not like I went to him like, hey, I need a beat like this. He just produces beats and he sells them. And I heard the beat and I'm like, yeah, this will work. I'm gonna buy this. Which originally it was forkable.
Okay.
I wanted exclusive use to it, so I'm like, hey, how much is this? I'm not going to tell his price because someone's going to find this, and that's a quick way to,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like you don't tell your coworkers how much money you make at work, right?
It doesn't matter.
It's either going to make you happy or make you mad and sad, you know?
It doesn't matter because of circumstances. I have more money in the bank than most of them anyway. It doesn't matter how much I make. Which
That's kind
what
of
matters
nice
is I have
say.
some sort of cash flow to hopefully offset my spending.
Right?
Yes. All right. So originally, pull back because another story with this. Originally, this was supposed to be on Semantics Volume 3.
Okay.
The third mixtape of the Semantics series. Oracle was going to put it all on the streaming services. And the day he decided to do it, he takes mine off. He doesn't even give me an advance notice on this. So I'm at work. Huh?
He took Midol?
No, he took mine off.
Oh, yours off. Okay, all right. I thought you were saying he's taking Midol, and I was like, that's a female medication, right?
Well, who's to say the Oracle was a guy to begin with?
That's true. Very true. Yes.
So he does this. I am at work, away from my computer with the Discord server on it. There's very little I can do. I get home, I let him know I'm kind of displeased with them. And he's like, well, I didn't think it fit the vibe of the records. And I'm like, well, you should have asked me because I had songs that did fit the slower, jazzier vibe, and I would have probably have given you one for him. I would have gave one to you. Now, to be fair, this was when the stockpile had like 3 or 4 songs, so there wasn't a whole lot there, but I would have gave him probably Enemy as Ananias. And everything would have been fine. But he's like, well, it's too late now. What do you want me to do? I'm like, anything at this point? Like, something? You can give me that guest verse you still owe me. Nothing came of that because, then he became uninspired and, he doesn't release music anymore. So we got that. We got that.
That's sad.
It is sad because I showed it to everyone, and there are no slouches in the Semantics crew. Everyone was bugging out about it. It was like everyone was bugging out about the flow, about the bars, and it didn't even make the record.
Wow. After all that.
After all of that. Which I'm not mad that he took it off, though I don't think there's a reason to put out a if I remember this was a 4-track like compilation record.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a reason to do that, especially if there's no collaboration within the group. Like if it was like 4
maybe like I said, we're our worst critics. So maybe he just felt it wasn't worthy to put out as of yet, or maybe those right lyrics just haven't found that right music piece, or vice versa.
No, it was the same beat and everything. And the thing is, if it was subpar that way, he would have told me.
Maybe because he was already kind of feeling like pulled back, that he didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to get on your bad side. Just saying. I wouldn't want to get on your bad side.
I don't know if that was the case. Which
lyrically, you would destroy me.
The thing is, though, is it would not be me against Oracle. It would probably end up being me against the rest of Semantics, and that's a 7v1. Now, the thing is, I probably could beat Oracle, and it's very simple. I gotta humanize the Oracle. If I can humanize the Oracle, then it's a wrap. Because he really doesn't have that much ammo on me. Like, what's he gonna say? Oh, you don't get as many streams as I do, and when I found your music, people were hating on you. I'm like, okay, and I mean,
yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, he's going to continue to weld stuff together. That's what he's going to continue to do.
So he's gonna continue to take those building blocks of sand.
No, sand. That's what he does. He's a welder.
Okay, so it's metal.
Yes, it's metal.
He's gonna make the window frames and door frames and doors and make sure you cannot get into his iron home. It's made of steel. Just saying. I'm sorry. I'm hearing a poem comes to me now.
Oh Lord.
Oh, catastrophes.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned actually DJ V-Rap a little bit earlier. This next piece is Wake of Catastrophe, and we have him on this.
All right, so this song was originally the flip side, not the B-side per se, but like the flip side to another song we had that I guess you could say he recently put out some more recent work. So I'm trying to find it. He put out.
I miss my dad's.
Jesus Christ, when was the last time you released?
With you? I think it's actually been a couple weeks.
Yeah. It has been. That's the thing. I'm trying to get back to the track because From Common Man was the song. And whereas From Common Man it was another one of those songs, another one of those horrorcore songs. This one was a more personal look into things. Mm-hmm. More personal, more I don't think uplifting is the right verbiage. This song got on the record because it fit the record. From Common Man was from this ambitious idea I had that it was going to have a bad ending to the record, and the actual record was going to have the good ending, with the B-sides were going to have the bad ending. And it didn't happen that way because I felt the original ending, which we'll get to very shortly, works either way, depending on how you think of it.
Perspective?
Yep, yeah, perspective. And as far as where this is on the record, we got to the point where our protagonist has escaped the landscape he has spent the last 30 minutes or so trapped in. He has escaped. And now he is about to come to grips with what is outside, with actual freedom, as it were. And the video done by our now is supposed to reflect that.
Okay. All right. I hope you guys are ready for In the Wake of Catastrophe. And if you guys go ahead over to youtube.com and check out this beautiful album that's put together, and you'll look at this video from there. The lyrics are also there in the description. So be sure to check that out as well, because you know, I got a skeleton key to level the event. Just saying. That's like the second line in the song. Let's check this out. Yay! AeromosDax.
Of catastrophe, I got a skeleton key to level any event. I put the rock on top of my trapezius and run the field like sweetness. When my 360's complete, I tell no lies, saying the daisies. I push with wisdom summer heat, read prayer cards like tarot, melted the chump change to an artifact to embezzle off the grid in blue label polo with a pinky up every time I drink from the spring water. If we see eye to eye, I deny my reflection, thinking he's less developed, so where's his prescription? I'm approaching 2025, that's what the script says. And the stones I attempt to build my home, I rode under the first storm before splitting from the totem as a glowing ember. I convinced myself I could forge Excalibur from a blade of grass by stepping from my perch in the heavens, with my size 13s being the hammer and Mother Earth as my anvil. I could stomp the yard, arm in army, and march off into a standstill, striving to stay true in heart and not suffer unnecessary blood loss. There's no lavender in my cardiac, even less a cast in the throat of dogs, just taunts like gang signs. Come as you are.
Come as you are. Yes. Freaking awesome. I don't know if you guys can see here. I actually put the lyrics on up so you guys can see. Man, I put the rock on top of my trapeze and run the fields like sweetness. With my 360s complete, I tell no lies, saying the daisies. I push will wilt from summer heat. Read prayer cards like tarot and melted the chump change to an artifact to embezzle. Off the grid in blue label polo with a pinky up every time I drink the spring water. If we see eye to eye, I deny my reflection, thinking he's less developed, so where's his prescription? I'm approaching 2025, and that's what the script says, and the stones I attempt to build my home erode under the first storm. Before splitting from the totem as the glowing ember, I convinced myself I could forge Excalibur. From a blade of grass by stepping from my perch in the heavens, with my size 13s being the hammer, and Mother Earth as my anvil, I could stomp the yard arm by an army and march off into a standstill, striving to stay true in heart and not suffer unnecessary blood loss. There's no lavender in my cataract, even less a casting to throw the dogs, just taunts like gang signs, come as you are. Wow. Incredible, Aramos.
Yep.
How long did it take for you to write that one?
I don't know. This thing. I don't write in one sitting. I write in bursts.
All right.
Yeah. I write in bursts of, oh, hey, this line sounds cool. Does it make sense with this line? It makes sense with this line and it rhymes well enough. Let's put this here. And then I'll string enough together and I'll sit down, I'll look at it again, reassess everything. I edit as I write, and then after a while, I see what I am writing about. It's not the most scientific. Someone will eventually hear how I write these things, and they will have an aneurysm about it. I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, because it does make no sense whatsoever. Doesn't even really make sense to me, but it's how I do things.
I get that. I got lots of notebooks, and you'll see my chicken scratch. Like there's just like a little bit here, and then a little bit from over here from this day and that day, and then eventually they, sometimes they come together. That's going ahead, and I don't know if you know, but the Beatles did that for almost every single one of their songs, and they got their song ideas from a billboard.
Well,
So
it's
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that how I go about things is a tad bit more scientific than that.
I can definitely see that and hear that. I'm loving this. I'm loving this album. You know, I I don't know what's in the future for you, but other than school, because you got some schooling to get through first. But I can't wait till you remaster these as well. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more collaborations and a lot of scientific theories coming out of your schooling that you're going to be going ahead and sharing with us as well as we take these fingerprints and move your footprints, right?
Yeah. I do have some things in the backlog still. I mean, I have the B-sides and I have other songs I've written that don't fit the record or are not completed for various reasons or don't fit the other record because I don't know when it's going to come out or how I'm going to organize most of it. But one thing that I do know is coming out in the near future is a record entitled Aramis Presents 85Xs, which 85Xs is the way I envision it is this robot with this AI program into it or computer software in it. Pushed it as an AI program, I don't think that's the correct way to go about it per se, but it's easier to make sense of. Where it's essentially a rapping robot and created by me for when I move on, which on the record it means, which on the record it's pretty much assumed that I died, but it can be a bit less. It can be a bit less devastating than if you want it to be. However, the consequences of that, with me programming it, and one of the struggles that I went about it was trying to get it to feel. It's incapable of feeling. So what you get is a bunch of borderline battle raps and philosophical jargon that can sound a bit soulless sometimes. Basically, it was an excuse for me to just write some rap verses and have fun rapping. Which this isn't saying that making a record like Claymation isn't fun or creatively rewarding. It is, but there's also a point in time where you get to a point where you don't feel comfortable writing just like a rap verse for the sake of writing a rap verse, because then the people that listen to your music are going to be like, I mean that's cool, like the technicals are there, but we're kind of used to this. And it's like, well, I didn't want to do that this time, and can we appreciate rapping for rapping's sake? Because rapping for exhibition on some level is just as well. I don't want to say it's just as important. There's a proper term in my mind that I have, and it's just as credible as having a message to some degree.
Mhm.
Like, for the sake of rapping to rap. Now, granted, you shouldn't hang your hat on being a rapper who raps about how good they rap. You should, have some humanity presented in that. But I don't think you should discredit an artist for rapping about how good they rap, because on some level, rap itself is exhibition.
Tricky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a rapper, but I keep trying. So let me ask, with this Claymation album that you have, is there one piece that you put onto the album that you feel the strongest about?
I feel the strongest about. Let me see. 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 Make it there. Ooh.
17 tracks, everyone. So
There are 17
him
tracks.
being like, let me see. That's because there's so many brilliant pieces and so many brilliant collaborators. He can't slice and dice and get down to the which one is actually like the beast of them all, because they're all magnificent and beautifully constructed in their own beautiful ways.
All right. My favorite bit of production on here was what I did for Black Plague Bar Jacket.
Okay.
What I did is I originally went into the MIDI and I noodled around in the MIDI, and I took parts of my noodling. I'm like, hey, this sounds good. Let me cut this out and download it real quick. So I did that, and I stretched it. I pitched it down, added some filtration until it sounded presentable, and I looped it. And that's how we got like the pianos, and actually I think it's mostly the piano. Then I found some drums that I liked, found the sax, found the bass on there. My favorite song as a whole, I think, might be track 11, Time Well Spent.
Okay.
I like how that track came together, especially with Cal's guitar work on there. He really steals the show.
Tabber. Yeah, he is fabulous on that guitar.
He is.
I swear you guys were brothers, like from another mother or father, and just didn't know it.
Oh, Lord.
I love you guys both.
Oh, I did not put it on the playlist, but I think a song that does need to have its needs to be present. Needs to be talked about is "He Who Holds the Mirror," featuring Con Artist. Probably to get the best guest verse on the record. Puts together a lot of really good cadences and rhymes on his verse. It also has a really good beat from the Mystic Loner, though he is credited here as Malik Wilson. He changed his name when I was putting everything together, and I did not want to, and didn't bother changing it.
Yeah. I think we've all had issues with like at names at one point in time. And like your first name, was it AeromosDax, or did you have a name prior to AeromosDax?
The only prior name I had towards AeromosDax was just Aramos. And then anything after that there was a time I added the question mark, because in my In my genius, I'm like, well, if I present myself as a question, then naturally people are going to want to find the answer. And to find the answer, they would have to interact with the music. And Michael was like, oh, that makes sense, but Michael's an idiot. And then Michael went to university, and the university student was like, well, it makes it seem like you're scared. I'm like, so you don't feel compelled to answer the question of the AeromosDax? Which then once you speak it out loud, it's like, the AeromosDax. Who is it? It doesn't sound like a question you want to answer. It sounds like someone just said, hey, we got this guy. His name is the AeromosDax. The AeromosDax. The gall and audacity to put the in front of everything. Like, I'm glad you asked it as a question too, because there's a question mark. There's a question mark? Get that out of my face. Get that. Once you sound it out loud, it's like, man, that's kind of unnecessary, isn't it?
I love it.
People might not want. Well, also another problem is it didn't translate to Instagram very well because you can't at someone with a special symbol. You can't put the special symbol in the at, so I had to spell out the question mark. That's just clumsy.
Oh no.
Luckily, Instagram has always been a barren place for support.
Yes. But it seems like a lot of people are starting to use it a little bit more and a little bit more, even if it's just for messaging. Tell me about Simon Peter's sword.
Simon Peter's sword is the finale of the record. This came from a beat from the magnificent Doc Laundry.
Okay.
This is more of a business relationship than actual collaborative relationship because this is a beat he put on his YouTube channel, and I'm like, hey, I want this one. He's like, hey, thank you. You already have my information. I know. You'll get your money shortly. And then I send him the money. I tell him, send the money. And then I get an email. And then I download the track. Oh. Don't have any story about the writing of the song itself. Honestly, this is a bit of a coming to realization. This is the finale of the record. We catch the character after the immediate events of the tracks themselves. Now, with that terrible live we did a million moons ago, I joked about my inability to give a good ending. All my endings were dour and filled with questions. This one I think takes a bit more of an optimistic look on the surface.
Okay.
Until you think about it. Which a lot of that positive thinking comes down to the tone of the song, the fact the lyrics don't quite spell it out. But if you sit down and think of it, it's like, well, he became what he combated. Like, he ultimately bent the knee. So is this the good ending? Or is this him saying that no matter what, any resistance is futile under these systems, and we're all just going to end up like this anyway? And I leave that question up to the listener.
Questioning again. But you guys better not question where to go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to AeromosDax. That's right, ladies and gents. You can go ahead and you can find him on all platforms. BandLab, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music. Yes, make sure to go ahead and check this out. And like he said, this is supposed to make you think. And as far as that goes, that has made me think throughout this whole album with these lyrics and these fabulous collaborators. And I can't wait to see what Aramos comes out after school break. Oh, he's going to have so much with this mixing and remastering of this album. Show him the support. You're what?
I don't plan on remastering this anytime soon.
Nope.
I'm not sure why you're trying to tell the people I'm remastering it.
Oh, well, you are a master of remastering.
I mean, yes, but like a lot of the early versions of this, I mean, y'all didn't get a chance to hear for the better.
Well, you guys get to hear this now. And you guys stay tuned to everything else he's got coming to you in the future. What are your future plans, Aramos?
All right, so our future plans, of course, gotta try to get the B-sides out. A lot of video work. I bought the props for a video for Fool's Omen. In case anyone wondered, okay, so like the first 3 singles came out with videos. Fool's Omen dropped. Why didn't that come out with video? And my answer for that is kind of hard to get a cameraman. That is the age-old issue. Luckily, I got to a point where I found some reasonably priced animators that were able to do animated and lyric videos.
Very cool.
However, I want to do more live material. I have that planned. I had another video idea planned where I was going to do like this on the block performance of Rushdown, and then in like the middle of it, I get shot, and then I just walk back into frame in a different outfit. They're like the powers that be would walk me back into frame. Oh no, the first one I would do would be the literal C's parentheses of crying mothers, and then I'd get shot. And then they'd walk, the powers that be would walk me out, and then I'd do Rushdown. It'd be a fun, surreal commentary. And then I would do like a double video of, to transition from the Claymation album cycle to the Claymation B-sides, or even, no, I wouldn't do it for 85Xs. It would be for the Claymation B-sides, when I do the Spell It Spectre or Spectator video. And then after that, that would transition to a video of Arrow's Last Stand, because there are parallels between the records. And then we go into the Claymation B-sides and the work that was written around the time that just doesn't fit into the record. So,
see, guys, I told you he's going to be remastering the master of side B. Yes.
Yes, all those songs need to be remixed and done something terrible. Which
I can't wait.
One of the B-sides that didn't make it, and I know we gotta wrap this up, there was a song that I wanted to do some sound poetry, which was when you just try to find, like, it was a rhythmic display of vowel sounds. It's horrific. If you heard one sound poem, you heard them all. And I'm like, I can't do this alone. So I got Cal and Senji involved. I don't remember if Senji really did anything, but Cal participated. And he did the sound poem. I'm like, this needs some bars on it, because this just feels empty. So I put a verse on it, some drums. It's a mess. It needs to be remixed. It needs to be remastered. It's probably one of the more ambitious things I did. So there's that. Look forward to it.
Oh, lots and lots. Yes, AeromosDax. He's coming in and some fingerprints and a punch in the face to go listen to the album. Great poetry, great lyrics, and he's got some stuff coming to you in the future. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell, so that way when he does go ahead and put something out, you are the first to know. Let's go ahead. Let's check out Simon Peter's Sword. Make sure you go ahead, like I said, subscribe, and you won't be dissatisfied with AeromosDax. Yeah, who? AeromosDax. Who? AeromosDax.
Yo, bruises where the knuckles connect. A subtle shift in your skeleton for suffering the suplex. Stay gold, that's your best bet. You'll be lost in the pack when I find an answer to who's next. I'm as square as it gets, but I'm 10 toes on domestic affairs. I've been investing where the heart is. I'm a homebody. Change subjects like diminishing returns wasn't the law. Like these fallacies didn't come with hidden fees, sunken cost. The monarch monopolizing these quarters. Cut corn like I wield Simon Peter's sword. Trying to make the most of the moment my compatibilities forge. Souls under the trap door. Just the blood cell of the bull. Or perhaps it's all propaganda where I sit in the lore. From tutorial boss to ally to the force. Today best in me reaps the same couple of coins. Just desserts for kicking a man for bucking old norms. Basking in the glory and the sun's rays I absorb. I'll continue on 10,000 hours mastering several disciplines. I don't want to hear about your day one coincidence unless you know what triggered this event. The spell and its conjuring. Yo, either store brand or organic, hand-picked, but stock is only as good as its ingredients. All I had was leftovers from the potluck, but from brick and mortar I rise above the lean-to, constructed from the short end of sticks. Greed pulled my image of me was Emperor Akbar on the elephant, while I was daydreaming, collecting water from under the rain dish. I thought I stumbled on a life hack, tossing stones across the stream under the city bridge. That wasn't the only film in development. Cutting corners was the quickest way to get the house sick. It was on the small matters. Vietnam flashbacks from slaps on the wrist for exercising gall and audacity. It was those exaggerated gasps that gassed me. I'll continue on 10,000 hours mastering several disciplines. I don't want to hear about your day one coincidence unless you know what triggered this event. The spell and its conjuring. Yo, I had wild style wars, proxy battles, but left and right brain were the theaters of the clashes. Don't twist in this phrase against Cassius, or even the average Joe versus the reigning champion. To break it down, it was battleship, taking the fragments of guesstimation and mapping the X Y axis to find the binomial of who I am. What explains all this loose skin? I spread myself too thin. I plant a foot in each pathway the road forked and continue forward. I strain my groin to bridge the gaps till the record scratched. Tears in my muscle fabric, ligament snapped. I collapsed. I had no contract to honor, so I had to bear the chalice. Obviously, I had to come out of pocket for the monkey's paw of modern medicine. But once I crawl from this bed, I'll continue on 10,000 hours mastering several disciplines. I don't want to hear about your day one coincidence unless you know what triggered this event. The spell and its conjuring. Yo.
Freaking fantastic, AeromosDax. Ah, I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Yes, Eremos, it has been a pleasure to have you here tonight to go ahead and go through this album with you and get the behind scenes of the making of this album and creation of Claymation.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Yes. And I can't wait. Make sure you go ahead, like, share, subscribe. This has been AeromosDax, everyone. And we have been going ahead and we have been looking at Claymation. Make sure to get a copy of yours today. Thanks so much for joining us for this beautiful album release. on Angified Presents. Have a great night, everyone.
I love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you
Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings.
And ourselves.
We stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds, let in the love,
and listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find in this shining world heroes among us and every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black.
yes. Yes. Angified means when a creative art director takes the work of his subordinates and beautifully designs it with sparkles, glitter, rainbows, all that stuff. And do we have a very, very special guest for you tonight? Yes, the one, the only, Arva. Yeah. Arva's here tonight, and we're going to share his story. We're going to share his songs, and it's going to be amazing. Woohoo! Charlie, are you ready?
He's got some great pictures.
Oh, I know.
I like that shot.
Yes. And I can't wait to hear his story.
Tony,
there you are.
2 years. 2 years to get on here.
Yes.
Hi. Nice to meet you, everybody. This is Arva. I'm 20 years old, and I'm starting my music career step by step. And I'm really grateful to be with these two beautiful persons that I've been watching, but I never talked to them before. And they have been supporting my music, and I'm very happy and grateful to be here. Blessed by God, always.
Oh, it's an honor to meet you.
Honor. I feel so grateful.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So Arva, I have to ask because we have been following your music as you've been following us as well, and I have to ask, where did you first get all of your musical talent? Was it grandparents? Was it aunts, uncles? Does it travel down to your great-great-grandparents' ovaries or, their little nutsack? Where does it come from? I have to know.
Right. That's a really good question, Angie. My musical talent has been like lots of my family. Like my grandparent was musician. He used to compose music. And I think kind of that spirit of making music come on me. All right. And also my parents get me very young in music, like classes. It was kind of hard because I didn't want to go to play the piano, but then I fell in love with it. And it was that's how the music love started when I was 13 or 12. I don't remember. And yeah, that's actually my biggest inspiration. That's why I started to making music 2021, I guess. And then I discovered BandLab, and when I can make music for free, and everything started right there. So this year that I published my first album, which is PUER ÆTERNUS, which we're going to be talking about it later. But yeah, that's actually how it started everything, really young. And I think my grandparent give me that talent again, So thank you for the question. I never thought about that before.
I love
it. 12, 13, that's a common age. That's when I started. A lot of the people we bring in, that's about the age where you start to recognize the music you like, and you start thinking of music in a way of making it.
Of course, Sony. I always watching my biggest idols. I watching Michael Jackson, David Bowie, Lady Gaga, Grace Jones, all of the biggest talents. I always watched and I was a child, and I used to say, I want to be like them. I want to be in those big stages, and having I think I'm gonna achieve it. Someday, but I'm going to achieve it very soon. So thank you for that question.
You have some good influences there.
Absolutely. Oh man. And then goes back to the great grandfather listening to compositions and classical and things of that sort. Oh man. So that's and then you jumped onto the piano at 12, 13.
Yeah.
And you fell in love with the piano. Did you play in school? Did you were you in the band or the orchestra?
Well, yeah, we used to have a band in school. I used to play the piano. We was also we all with a teacher and we started this kind of little band, but it doesn't get that big. But I feel I love to be in bands and stuff. But yeah, I used to listen to my grandpa was God. My biggest inspiration is also God, but he was like making like preaching everywhere, and I don't know, it kind of makes me emotional because he always wanted to be like this big like author of music, and I just want to keep his like legacy. So he was my biggest inspiration also.
That's awesome. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good
Thank you.
motivation.
so and then after high school, did you go to, school further, or did you continue in bands, or was it just pretty much band lab that you started going ahead and evolving and growing on?
The most the global pandemic come here, and then like you kind of like hanging out with your friends, and that kind of affect me in a way, but also make me like see new opportunities. So that's when I discovered it. I actually it's kind of funny how I discovered it because I was like looking at my phone like music production stuff, and if I like free band, oh, of course, that's really cool. It's not like a big story, but actually how it started everything, like production. One of my biggest inspiration is like Grimes. She was like, I don't know if you know her. She's actually a big artist. She produces everything, she sings everything, and she makes everything by herself. It's actually one of my biggest inspirations to start like producing, because I thought I used to have like this big weird thought that I gotta get like a producer, I gotta get like a big label. And then I saw her like making everything for her room and like in the tiny room, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I can do it myself too. So yeah, that's actually how it started, and like making this avant-garde music and stuff. So yeah, that's actually how it started everything. It doesn't look like a big story, but it's funny.
Well, it is. I think the pandemic really kind of brought the world together, even though it kind of separated us individually from like our neighbors and our family. It kind of also brought the world together with music and reels.
Of course. That's
Yeah.
that's a really yeah. That's a really good statement because being like the pandemic made like new people from other countries like you guys. I made it like your show like in 2022. It was a still pandemic, and I met lots of good people for around the world. So it's actually really good because you have that opportunity to meet like other people, like their like traditions and stuff. So yeah, that's a good opportunity. That's a good statement, Angie. Yeah, I really agree with you.
Yeah, and it's always inspiring when you do see somebody who can produce and do all of that with the tools that they have. That's another thing you find on BandLab is, users who really take the technology all the way. It's like we have a studio in our hands these days.
Oh, Arva, you said you had a new album that's coming out. Why don't you tell us about that?
Of course, yeah. I'm working on a new album. Like it's gonna be like very like goth inspired. My first album was like very happy, like being like a child and happy. It was like all happiness and being in love with life. But this next album is kind of like the child that wasn't that the first album, now it's just growing up. Like now it's like watching how the society is. And sometimes it tends to be dark, but it's also like getting wiser with this experiences. So the album is going to be titled Shanix, which is actually like an archetype, like Carl Jung's archetype of a wise man. So more promotion, TikTok and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool. Very experimental.
It sounds like you're
Oh,
growing up musically.
yeah.
Of course, yeah, of course.
And I love how you tied your first album in with the second one, the whole
Yeah,
story.
the whole story. Yeah, I like to tell stories in my music. That's how biggest artists used to do it. Like Michael Jackson used to make movies in his like in his music videos. And when he used to see it as a child, it was like you get like stunned with all of this story, like the lore of the videos. So yeah, that's actually something that I really like telling stories in music, um giving a message. So yeah, that's actually one of the biggest inspiration of my music, like those biggest pop stars.
When you were in school, did you have a writing project that kind of like changed you that said like, I need to start writing, or was it more of the inspiration from like Michael Jackson and your artist that you listened to and grew up with?
Well, being honest with you, I it's like right now when I'm starting to make lyrics, you know. In my first album, I have no lyrics because I'm really bad in it, because my music is in English.
Aw.
So, when you make music in Spanish, you have like more expanded vocabulary. But when I used to make it in English, it was like really hard, you know, because I don't know lots of words, and it was like sometimes like, it's really hard, you know. But yeah, I'm trying to make it like improve my lyrics and like making better lyrics like with more messages, you know, because lyrics are very important, you know. As I told you, when I see musicians when they share their stories through music, it really inspires me, you know. So yeah, that's actually how it started everything. I used to write poetry but in Spanish, so I'm trying to translate it in English to have like more expanded like audience. So yeah, that's actually how it works. I like poetry. Poetry is something I really love.
And have you tried doing some songs in Spanish? Because Spanish, you have such a wide palette. I love Spanish music. It does feel like it's a lot harder to get the same kind of energy and emotion when you're doing it in English, where Spanish it's just wide open.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. You know, I have a song in my album called Amapola. Amapola is like a flower, like poppy flower. So yeah, this is the first song that I made in Spanish, and it's called like Oh Amapola de mis lamentos, like Amapola of my pain. So it was like very deep because I was like writing in Spanish, you know. And
Oh,
yeah,
I would definitely like, mix that up because there's such a huge market. The Latin world when it comes to the music is bigger than any other music industry.
of course, yeah, big market. That's something really cool. That's something that I learned a couple of years ago. And it was like, yeah, when you sing Spanish, like English, and sometimes even if you have like another language, you have like, as you said, like a big audience, you know? So that's why I'm starting with English because, lots of people talk English, you know? Even here in Guatemala, there's lots of people that talk English. So you have like a big audience, you know? Then you can start with Spanish and stuff, you know? And yeah, that's a really good goal that I would have, you know? So
Well, it's nice.
thank you for
It's
that
nice
tips.
to spread. Yeah, it's nice to spread yourself out that way musically.
And you
Yeah,
have a
of course.
family here, so if you ever need help with translations or any kind of words in the English, you've got the Anster and Tonester here. We will be more than happy to help you anytime.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I'll be more than glad to ask you for your help.
Love it. Oh, Arva, we can find you out there on BandLab at Arva_Spirit. We can find you out there on YouTube. I know you've got more coming with this new album on these other platforms like TikTok and SoundCloud and things. So I cannot wait for that to come out. You guys out there, make sure you hit those notification bells so you know when Arva releases this new album. And we're about to go ahead and check out some more. Arva, can you go ahead and tell me about this song, Forelsket, if I'm saying that correctly?
Of course, you're saying it well.
Yes.
Yeah, Forest Cat is one of the most cheesiest song I ever wrote, honestly. I tend to, when I fall in love, I tend to like make everything for that person. So, and it's kind of cheesy, it's kind of like embarrassing sometimes. But yeah, this is the most cheesy song I ever wrote. Like, Forest Cat means when you're like so in love with the person, you want everything for that person. You want everything, even if it's disgusting. You want it. I know. I think it's kind of weird.
True love.
Yes.
That's true love.
So First Good is that about like giving everything for a person. You're everything I breathe. You're everything I see. You're a light on my life. So yeah, that's actually what is the song about? This is too cheesy. It's not my favorite ones that I ever wrote, but it's like some people I think would like it and will identify with that feeling.
Cheesy cells.
Everybody should have at least one cheesy song.
Yes, even if it's just about cheese.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's
cheesy.
Like that you yeah, yeah.
Is cheesy.
Cheesy.
All right. Just checking my English.
No, I understand cheesy.
Yes. Oh, let's check out this song here. I cannot wait. This is going to be so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Oh, Coral Sketch, Arva Spirit, Arva_Spirit. Find him out there. Look for him today. Subscribe, follow. This is from Arva's album. And he says this is the cheesiest one, but I bet you're going to fall in love. Here we go. Published out April 2nd, 2024. Arva Skit.
Oh, there's something in my
Gosh, that was beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I now can connect from my computer so I can see you better.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank
Oh
you.
my
Appreciate
goodness.
your
You
support.
said that was cheesy, but it makes you actually just like want to float on clouds. It makes you just like, yeah, it's dreamy. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the lyrics are cheesy. Oh my god.
Well, the lyrics, there's something, something in my mind, something in my head. You're something.
Easy like that.
Of course. All right, guys. I appreciate you like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, okay. Tell us about Amapola.
All right, Amapola is one of my favorite songs in the album. It's in Spanish actually. So if you want to practice Spanish, you can sing it.
Okay.
So, it's actually about a love, when someone like is pretending to be, like someone that you love, but it results that it was like, it was another person, she was like playing with you, that person. It was a he or she, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's actually what is the song about. The first lyrics, like, Amapola de mis lamentos. It was like, Amapola of my pain, déjame ahora ir, which means, please let me go, si no estuviera en este sufrimiento, it actually means if I wasn't suffering, I would stay here. So that's actually what it means, most of the song, it's one of my favorite ones, it's kind of like 60s rock inspired, like the Beatles and stuff. So yeah, it's one of my favorite ones I ever wrote, it's kind of underrated. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. It's one of my favorite ones.
So you do dabble with the love experiments in the music.
Of course, yeah.
Common theme.
Of course, I like to experiment. It's like really cool to experiment with new sounds and stuff. I never had tried rock before, but then I make it. It was like not like hard, But I would like to have more, like mentors in rock. If you guys make rock, I would be more than glad to get classes from you. You seem like a rock guy.
And the beauty of the love topic, it fits every genre.
Yeah, of course. You seem like a rock guy, Tony, so I will be more than glad to get classes from you.
I'm a rocker. You're welcome to come here when you need rock.
Of course. So I hope you guys like it. It's one of my favorite ones.
Let's go ahead. Let's check this out now. Amapola. Arva Spirit. Arva _ Spirit. You can find him out there on BandLab and YouTube today. Hails in at 4 minutes and 3 seconds. And give it that heart, that share. From Arva's album. Let's check this out. I love that, Arva.
Thank you.
I know why it's your favorite.
Oh, my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite ones. It's like kind of dark sometimes. It's kind of like goth and stuff. So yeah, it's one of my favorite ones of the album. Thank you for
I
asking.
love the choice of the organ, the way you use
Oh,
it
yeah.
in there, and that's kind of like if the Doors had been ethereal. Like I felt like some Doors vibes with the organ, and your
Yeah.
voice sounds amazing on it.
Thank you. Yeah, the Doors are one of the biggest inspirations too. That's my dad's favorite band. So I used to listen a lot, like Light My Fire, Riders on the Storm. Biggest song.
That's what that one had. That
Yeah.
Riders on the Storm kind of. Like I
Feel.
felt like
Yeah.
I was out in the desert.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Like this kind of songs, like I wanted to, bring like this old vibe. I really like vintage stuff, like the 60s, the 70s have the best music. I'm not saying we don't have good music right now, but the music of the vintage music has something that I really love, and I think all we love, like 80s music, 70s music, I don't know, have something.
Well, you
I'm stuck in
bring
the
that
50s.
You bring that sound back, but you give it a nice, fresh approach. I mean,
Yes.
this sounds like if the Doors were in 2024
Yes.
with gorgeous vocal layers on top of it.
Thank you guys. I'm still in pro, and I really appreciate it. So if you want to learn Spanish, don't worry to ask me, because it's like the most Spanish song I ever wrote.
That would help me. That would help me
Yep.
learn.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you.
Absolutely awesome. Awesome. Like as soon as right from the gate, I was like, oh, organ. Like, yeah, you just totally right from the door you had me. So
Literally.
yeah. Yeah, literally.
Thank you. Guys. I kind of. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I got an interview with Ranita. I don't know if you know her. She's an Ranita.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's really cool. And she used to tell me like she wanted like make lyrics and collaborate, and and she was like learning Spanish like through my music sometimes. That's why I give you the tip. So thank you.
Oh, I love Sister Renita. Yes. Yes. I know she'll probably be in one of these nights. She's been missing us. She sent us a message the other night. So
She's been working hard.
Yeah, she is awesome.
She's really cool.
Yeah. Aw. All right, now you might have to help me pronounce this one. Prinka Pissa Ilac?
Alac, yeah.
Alac.
Alac.
Okay. Did I say the first portion right?
Yeah. I should have put that weird names, because that takes me out audience, because sometimes people doesn't know how to say it. So I should be like, put like more mainstream names,
But at the same time, like I enjoy like trying to pronounce, some of these, and if I have them wrong, at least I'm learning.
Yeah.
So thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, I enjoy watching her try.
Good, Tony, you say it.
Principessa Ilac.
Dawn. You say it right the first time.
Can you tell us about this piece?
Principessa Ilac, this album is actually very inspired, like in like childhood. Lots of people of my age are like struggling with the PUER ÄTERNUS. The PUER ÄTERNUS is like a psychological state when you don't want to grow up, and I see lots of people of my age that don't want to grow up. They want to stay in their childhood. So this album is like really inspired, like leaving the childhood behind and become like a responsible adult. I'm 20 years old, so I'm like changing. Like, I'm feeling lots of changes in my life, and lots of people of my age also too. So yeah, and this song is actually inspired for one of my biggest friends in the childhood. Her name was Kayla, but I changed it to Alex just to her. She will notice about it. That big change. So yeah, this song is inspired about her. I used to I love her so much. I didn't tell her, I was like so scared for telling her. So this song is like about it, like telling her, I really appreciate your friendship, and also I would have wished that we would have been something else, But yeah, that was what this song about.
You are such a romantic. The
I know,
ladies
at first-
love you.
At first, I was like, is he telling me I have to grow up? And then I was like, but this is so sweet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's I realized that Tony Dimmitt told me that, and I realized that I'm a very romantic person. I didn't realize that. I thought I was like more rude.
No, embrace that as an artist. It's a strength.
Absolutely.
I hope you can enjoy this song. It's also one of my favorite ones too, and it's the most largest song in the record because it was like so much feelings.
Let's go ahead. Let's check this out. Woo! Arva _Spirit, everyone. You better subscribe today. Oh my goodness, Arva. Man, these compositions are gorgeous. I heard David Bowie influence in that one.
Of
I
course,
also heard
yeah.
a little. I also heard a little Enya, little Bowie. You might be one of the most ethereal musicians we've had in. We've had a couple of them. I was just mentioning the end. Paul Werda, Pragna.
Yes.
They were the most ethereal that I'd heard so far. But you might have them beat on the like dreamy sound.
Thank you. I love ethereal stuff, you know, and it's actually really interesting that you're saying David Bowie, because I used to remember that Angie used to think that it was a girl singing.
I did. I totally did.
Yeah, you know, I love androgyny, you know. Androgyny makes you creative. You know, David Bowie is like a very androgynous guy. So, you know, I used to have like some girly vocals, like manly vocals, you know. So I believe androgyny makes you creative, you know. I'm still feeling like a man, you know, but androgyny makes you like, you know, you have the best of both worlds, you know.
Yeah,
so
and you do come with both sides. It's good to be able to embrace that creatively and musically. That's what made Bowie such a giant in his field.
Of course, and not just David Bowie, you know, also Grace Jones, Michael.
Prince. Don't forget Prince.
Can't forget Prince.
Yeah, you know, as I told you, not just David Bowie, also like Grace Jones, Michael Jackson has androgyny and his like look and music. Lady Gaga has like some, you know, like androgyny stuff. So if you see that pattern in the biggest artist, and androgyny is always there, you know. And I think it's kind of cool. It makes you more creative. I believe it. So it's really good to see that you can, you know, you don't know sometimes if it's a male or if it's a girl. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, some of those notes that you were hitting. Yes, some of those notes that you were hitting, and the way that you do make it sound so dreamy, you know, and like you just want to lay on a cloud and just, you know, take you to that safe space, you know. It's unbelievable what you can do.
Thank you guys. You're so awesome too. I feel
so
inspired.
I apologize if I mistook you for a girl, but some of those notes were just so gorgeous. I was like, there's no way there's a guy hitting this.
And the way I felt, you know, like, because, you know, as I told you, that song has a lot of androgyny, so I felt like it was a compliment in a way. So yeah, as I told you, lots of people inspire me. You know, you guys inspire me. My family are really awesome. You know, they make my childhood really cute. So that's actually what is the album about. You know, my friends of my childhood, my family, my parents were really awesome. They always supported me. My brother, my sister. So yeah, that's actually one of the inspirations of the album. Now also with this song. All right. So yeah, actually, it's really interesting. So thank you guys for listening.
You're doing a great job of bringing it out musically.
Thank you guys.
Oh, it's freaking been amazing. If you guys haven't already, hit that follow button, that subscribe button. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Because I know, like, this next song, I fell asleep in a cloud. That's all I can do. Like, that's where it takes me. It takes me to I'm just like, woo, loving this.
Thank you.
So you gotta tell me about this one, because you know that's exactly how I feel about your music. Like, it is just very uplifting.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you want me to talk about Fell Asleep in a Cloud? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you well.
Yes. Can you tell me about I Fell Asleep in a Cloud?
Oh yeah. Yes, it's really interesting piece. Like, it's really inspired by rock and Spanish rock music. I don't know if you guys have ever heard like Enanitos Verdes and stuff. Have you ever heard of them? If you haven't heard of them, it's really cool. You should listen to them because they are one of the best rock Spanish bands in the world. So it's actually inspired like blues and stuff, and also combined it with, you know, like getting into heaven, you know. So it's like when I imagine this song, I was imagining like angels playing rock and stuff. That's what I imagine. So it doesn't have like a great story like the other ones, but it's one of my favorite ones also. But the first one will always be Alma Pola. So I hope you can like it.
I've already liked this song because I think you believe you sent it in on a Whip It Out Wednesday. And I got to hear this one, and
I
right from
remember it
there.
from that.
Yes, yes. And you guys are gonna remember it too. Oh, I fell asleep on a cloud. Here we go.
And I
Arva.
love his imagination.
Oh, me too.
Imagination is the fuel.
Yeah, imagination is everything. So there's also 333. So if you don't know, guys, if you believe in synchronicity by Carl Jung, 333 is the number of creativity. So I don't know,
It's
kind
the
of has a
number of
connection.
man.
Yeah. 333. My lucky number.
Threes. Me too. Here we go with I fell asleep on a cloud of threes. I fell asleep in a lily pad. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you for
I'm still
listening.
sleeping in a cloud.
I have a fun story. I played with this song once in a live stream, and the guy literally fell asleep. And the
What did
guy
she
was just
do?
like, listening, and it was like just fell asleep. You know, it was like, what? Oh my god, what happened? And I think he was drunk or something, but it made the purpose.
I
Oh,
was going to say earlier, I could sleep to this. All
yeah.
of your sounds would be perfect for like getting a nice, relaxing night of sleep. It's
Yeah.
it's like those who listen to the rainforest sounds.
Very
This, to
meditative.
me, feels like that kind of relaxing.
Thank you,
Yes.
guys. Thank you for
I
your
love
words.
the instrument, the experiments you did with the instruments there. Like that's a cool way to get percussive with sound effects.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your words, guys. I really like to learn more
How
about
many
percussion.
instruments? Like, how many instruments do you play?
I don't play too much, you know. I mostly play piano. I barely know some things about guitar. I'm really bad at guitar. I really like to learn more about it. And
I see you got two behind you.
all right, you seem like a good guitarist, guys. I would like to take lessons because I'm really bad, honestly. And you know, I'm a little bit of battery, but it's like very basic. The only thing I know the most is piano. And when you know piano, you can do lots of miracles. So, so yeah, I don't play too much. I'm just singing piano and everything is on for me.
Well, you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
You're working it.
Yes. And at 20 years of age, I cannot wait to hear what you're going to be a brilliant composer in the future. You already are, but I mean, I can't wait to hear all the more creations that you come out with as you continue to grow.
Yeah, I hope
you're at a beautiful place in your musical growth. Like this is where the road just opens up.
Of course, yeah. You know, I hope God can give me the opportunity to grow up as an artist, you know, because the thing that I like most of the artists is that when they give a message, you know. I used to listen like lots of messages, you know. Lady Gaga's one of like, she gives messages in her music, like Born This Way stuff, you know, and you know, when they give a message, also Michael Jackson, we used to give his message against the government and stuff. So that's the main thing I would like to do as an artist. I love music that it just comes from imagination, but I also love much when it's like comes with the message, you know, when some love message like against some bad stuff, you know, when it contains a message, it's like more emotional, you know, and that's the main thing of music. Give messages and make people feel identified, you know. For lots of years, I felt like it was like an outcast sometimes. So when I used to see my biggest idols, when they feel the same, you know, you feel identified and it empowers you, you know. So I would like to do the same thing today to inspire lots of young people and also lots of people, not just young, but especially young people that when they feel outcasted, you know, because I felt that way. And I want people to see the pictures and see myself and say, you know, I feel like him. I once feel like him, you know. So yeah, that's the main thing I would like to do if God gives me the opportunity, you know. So
all you have to do is embrace it. You've been given the gift, now unwrap it.
Of course, guys.
So and you're taking it all the way to Jupiter.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
You're taking it all the way to Jupiter.
Yeah.
The song that you have, Jupiter Plores.
All right.
Matotis? How do you say that? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Jupiter Plure, because it's like French. I don't know French, so I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't give you like an accurate like pronunciation, but it's like Plure, something
Tony
like that.
knows French.
Plue, like tears, I think. I don't remember what it meant. But yeah, this is actually inspired by goth. Just experimentation with music. It doesn't have like a story, just experimenting with goth sounds and you know, making shit and bad love. That's why. So it doesn't have like a big story, but I hope you guys love it.
I'm loving everything that you're showing us this evening. I can't wait for this new album, you know, because that will be something that, you know, many can go ahead and study to, rest to, you know, or even find, or even find, you know, in this crazy world, just a peaceful space.
Yeah.
So thank you for creating that, you know, that peaceful space to take people anywhere to their safe space, whether it's dreamland, up in the clouds, sitting in the middle of an island, under the palm trees, whatever it may be, the middle of the ocean, wherever they want to be. And you allow people to kind of create off of that where their mind takes them.
Of course, yeah, that's the main
purpose. And now we're going to Jupiter, Tony.
Great.
Isn't that awesome?
We're going through all of space.
That's right. That's right. Oh, let's go ahead. Let's check this out. It's so awesome. Jupiter awaits. It's Jupiter tears. Is that right, Tony?
Tears. Jupiter tears.
Thank you. Here we go. Arva_Spirit. Subscribe today. Cool. I'm going to say if you guys weren't wearing headphones, go ahead and put a pair of headphones on and put that back on again. That was an incredible journey. And the way you had it actually like flowing through with the different sound effects and instruments. Oh my goodness. Loving that journey, loving that feeling. It was eerie yet enchanting.
Thank you guys. I want the other album be more like this, like goth and danceable music. So it's like a little taste of what is coming. All right.
Let me ask you, do you make beats for other artists?
No, I would like to do it. I would like to make. I had a friend which actually wanted to make beats for rap and stuff, but I'm really bad doing rap. So I will be more like making pop music and stuff.
Well, after this interview, I want you to stick around, okay? Because I want to talk to you about something there that might be right up your alley. Combination of poetry and some of your work here, because you definitely have one of those that, even sitting back, even if you just spoke even in English or Spanish on top of your pieces and did some of your poetry, like, oh man.
That is ripe prime for spoken word to go with it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you guys. I will be more than glad to help you with that. Even for free if you want it. So I will be more than glad to help you with that. And yeah, I hope you can enjoy the new music that I'm going to get. I really appreciate your support, guys. And not just for me, just for all the actors that have been here in Angified. The work that you do for the other artists is really cool. Keep doing it, guys, because artists just need that little push, in their careers. And you do that, and it helps us a lot. So I thank Jesus and God for your lives, guys, and I hope you can do what you're doing. All right.
Well, and it's rewarding when we get to hear artists like you. It is the reward.
Absolutely. And everything happens for a reason. God has that master plan. So we were meant to meet, and we were meant to share our ears, form that heart of love and unity and amazing journeys.
Of course, yeah, and I will be more than glad to be part of your project.
I love it.
All right.
So let me ask you one final question here.
Mm-hmm.
What is your ultimate goal? Where do you, at the end when, you are, done here with your mission and they have laid your load down, what was your ultimate goal in this life with your music?
All right, that's a really good question. You make good questions. You guys make good questions. Deep questions. I never thought about that before. Well, as I told you, my main goal would be like people, as you said, like feel that safe space, when they can go away and they feel like they're themselves, As I told you, one of my biggest idols in music, they have made you part or something. And that's something that lots of people needs right now, because there are like lots of loss of identity. And when you feel like you're unique, or even that you fit in something and you feel like identified with someone, that empowers you. So as I told you, my main goal would be give a message, for the world, and not just lots of artists just make everything by themselves. But I think artists must be, doing everything for the fans, for the people, because people are the ones that get you at the place that you are, not just you, not just, the fans are everything, and I think the fans will be more, are underrated sometimes. So, and not just for fans, just family, friends, I once heard that lots of people put like money in a pedestal, but a friendship and everything that has no price should be in a pedestal, like friendship, like love, like time, So yeah, that would be my main message. Like, feel like yourself and feel like safe with the people that understand you. All right. So that would be the main message. So thank you for the question. That's really interesting. I never think about it before.
Yeah.
And you are well on your way to that goal.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We keep doing. All right, guys. Thank you. It was a wonderful interview. I really enjoyed every part, and it was like really cool to meet you finally. You know, I've just seen you as a chat person, but not from front and like face to face. So it was really good experience.
Yeah, it's always nice to get to actually meet the artist.
Of course, yeah, and meet the interviewers too.
And get to know more behind your work and who you are, because I obviously at first thought you were a girl, so to being able to know your story, where you come from, how music got intertwined, what, where you started growing and where you said, you know what, now I actually have a playground to play, even though this terrible thing's happening. Here's a playground to play. And you took that and you are just evolving beautifully and taking me to clouds. So I thank you so much. You have been totally awesome. And, I hope you do come back and fill us in the future with updates.
Of course.
Because I would really love to get an update.
Of course, yeah. I hope you can invite me, the former show someday, because I really like it, and I really appreciate that you take your time to interview the guys here. And yeah, I will be more than glad to be part of your project someday if you give me the opportunity.
No, you're always welcome here.
Thank you, guys. So I don't know. I want to say something else.
Make sure you go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Yes. And Arva_Spirit YouTube. Get ready for this new album coming out on multiple platforms. He's coming, and you're going to enjoy it. Thanks so much for going ahead, tuning in, like, share, and subscribe. We're going out with Frinkapissa Ilak. Did I say that right that time?
Of course, you said it right.
Yeah. Here we go. Woo!
like to thank to those wonderful guys here that interviewed me. They're such awesome. If some people want to get interviewed by them, it was a cool experience. I never felt comfortable, and it was really cool. And also, I would like to thank to my family for the support, my mom, my dad, my grandma, my brother, my sister, because they always supported me and they put me in the place that I'm right now. And also, I would like to thank God and Jesus because they are the ones that gave me the talent that I have and everything. That will be fine. And I hope you guys can enjoy this interview. And also tune Angified. It's an awesome show, which is actually tuned every day, the motivational Wednesdays and stuff. So tune Angified. I really love them so much. So thank you. Have a wonderful night.
I love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I like to share mine with you. Can we share life? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? I love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I like to share mine with you. Can we share? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or